Monday's Fox News debate, Newt Gingrich is surging. In a national poll with just 3 days till the crucial South Carolina primary, Gingrich is neck and neck with Mitt Romney. But who can beat Obama? Joining me now, Jonathan Collegio is a former spokesman for the National Republican Congressional Committee, and Democratic National Committeeman Robert Zimmerman. To you first, Robert, who's going to win South Carolina?
I still got to believe Mitt Romney does. He's got that coalition of both Republican establishment and also Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, who brings her own organization, and Tea Party support. I think she surged. I think he does make it, although the trend is certainly for Gingrich.
Well, Jonathan, what do you say? I think it's pretty much up in the air in a lot of ways now. Can Nikki Haley bring enough firepower to put Romney over the top?
Well, Nikki Haley will help in that regard. Mitt Romney has actually voted on Newt Gingrich with a new ad, and I think that may have more of an impact than anything. I mean, right now we see the race tightening. I think, though, if Gingrich or Santorum don't come away with this thing on Saturday, it's really going to be out of reach for just about anyone else. And the reason for that is that Romney has a huge lead in the next state, which is Florida. He has a 24-point lead there.
Well, we'll get there in a second. Jonathan, you mentioned that Romney ad. I want to show our viewers that ad. Here it is.
I served with Newt Gingrich in Congress. Newt Gingrich had a leadership style that can only be described as leadership by chaos. The last time Newt Gingrich was the head of the Republican Party as Speaker, he became so controversial, he helped re-elect a Democratic president. I worry about the Republican Party's chances to defeat President Obama if Newt Gingrich is the nominee.
Ouchie. Robert, what do you make of that?
I'll tell you, it's a powerful ad, and of course, the tragedy of all these ads are they're run by their super PACs, so oftentimes the names aren't even associated with it. But here's the bigger issue. As you see the Republican Party mobilize, and I don't agree with my Democratic colleagues. I think the Republicans will be mobilized and energized in November. But the problem is the price they're paying for unity is taking such extreme positions, they really disqualify themselves in November. We've never had a presidential candidate like Newt Gingrich advocate overturning the Supreme Court decisions, or Mitt Romney advocate deporting 11 million undocumented workers.
All right, well, we're not going to do immigration today or illegal aliens, I don't think. But, you know, getting back, Jonathan, to what you were talking about with South Carolina and the momentum that might be built up there, my understanding is Romney's done a lot of work in Florida already.
And he's,
Right? I mean,
he's up by...
Even if he loses South Carolina, he's still got a strong shot in Florida, right? That's a money state.
And it's also, it's extraordinarily expensive to run a competitive race in Florida. And like I said, I mean, if Santorum or Gingrich don't come out with a victory in South Carolina, they're not going to have momentum to raise the money that's going to be necessary to start chipping away at Romney's lead there. That's why I think it's critical for either of those to win South Carolina. I don't know whether or not they'll drop out after that, but the race is effectively over.
That's a very good point. In fact, just an interesting fact to note, there are already 400,000 individuals who've applied for absentee ballots in the state of Florida to vote in the Republican primary.
Right.
And that reflects Mitt Romney's organization on the ground that has been so effective in doing it.
Yeah.
So he's well positioned. Also, it's interesting to know that no Republican has won the nomination in without winning South Carolina since 1980.
Jonathan, one of the big issues today that I think has really become out front. Today, Mitt Romney saying, I think I paid a 15% effective rate of taxation because most of my income comes from income. Makes a lot of sense, but when he talked about this, he also said that he doesn't get a lot of money from speaking engagements, but that number is over $300,000. Do we have a disconnect with the American public here? I mean, is this a guy that regular Americans can get fired up by?
Well, the 15% thing, I doubt that that's going to be as big of an issue as folks think. I mean, I just have a hard time believing that someone paying the tax rate that the tax code tells you to pay is really going to resonate, except for folks that are really focused on class warfare, and those are all the Obama supporters anyway.
Right.
It's not like we're talking about Mitt Romney cheating on his taxes or anything like that.
Jonathan, I agree with you on that, but I want you to address this idea where he said $340,000 isn't a lot of money. I think most Americans would say, oh yeah, that's a lot of money. I'd like to have $340,000.
Yeah, and he's being asked whether or not he'll release these things ahead of time. Apparently, there's a tradition to release it in April.
And you know something, Jonathan? The bigger problem is class warfare is being raged by Newt Gingrich and Rick Santorum. And it troubles me as an American to see these Republican right-wingers attack capitalism and engage in class warfare.
Well said. As a Democrat, that means you don't have to do it, right? I mean, that brings up a whole new kettle of fish, Jonathan. These Republicans shooting each other in the foot here, does that help or hurt whoever has to be the leader?
Well, Gingrich getting those attacks on Romney through his super PAC over the Bain Capital thing. I mean, two problems there. First of all, the film that he released, that his super PAC released, it had a lot of blatant inaccuracies in it. So they're going to have to deal with that. But the thing to remember here is that there is going to be a Steven Spielberg quality version of this film being released by the Obama campaign in about 6 months if Mitt Romney gets the nomination.
But Jonathan,
so
we'll be quoting.
The fear is that it will be a compelling message.
Jonathan, we're going to be quoting Mitt Romney giving different versions of how many jobs he created at Bain Capital, because he can't give you a straight answer. And we'll be quoting him as well, discussing when he's releasing.
He gives you a straight answer. It's just that a lot of people don't believe it.
Well, he's
been saying the same thing.
Well, he says
over
100,000, 125,000. One ad says thousands.
What do you say to that, Jonathan? I mean, is there a clear answer to that? The number of jobs saved by Bain? Is it 120,000? Is it 100,000? What is it?
We know that it's a lot, and we know that there are companies out there that exist because Bain went in and saved them. And he has a lot of stories that he'll be able to tell in response to the negativity that's going to be coming from the Obama campaign. But at the end of the day, what Romney really wants his campaign to be about is Barack Obama and his economic record. Obama really wants to twist Romney's record, his business record, and his record in Massachusetts. And that's going to be, the tension in this campaign.
The debate goes on, and it will go on, and hopefully you guys will come back and talk to us about it. Jonathan and Robert, thanks so much for coming on today. Really appreciate your help.
Thanks so much.
And you can find out how Romney performs in the Palmetto State